about a minute and a half till 6. Let's just get the prayer. Lord, we thank you for this gorgeous day that you gave us today. Nice day to put up Christmas lights. We thank you for all the other gifts that you've given us in life, and we ask you to look after all the people during these holidays. We know there's a bunch of crazies on the road as well as on the streets. Look after these people as they go shopping. There's a lot of thievery and vandalism going on in that neck of the woods too. And we ask you to look after all of our military personnel that's overseas and can't get home for the holidays. Look after all of the people that does the law enforcing and all of our civil servants. We ask you to look after them, keep them safe, keep all of our families safe. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, it is now right at 6 o'clock by my watch, so we are underway. First thing up, any citizens' remarks or complaints? None? I'd like to ask Jean to say a few things there about her parade.
Oh, okay.
Jean, would you do that?
That's the first Sunday of December, and the lineup is at 4:30. The parade starts at 5. It'll go up Main Street from Jones's Grocery. If you're not familiar, if you come through the main street of Elk Garden, and before you drop down to start the 2 miles left to go into Kitzmiller, it's a little grocery store, a little mom and pop grocery store on your left. And it's going to start in that area. Directly across from that is a road that goes down into the outskirts of Elk Garden. Can you imagine we have outskirts? But it was called Shady Side for 30 years. Yeah. And then when the new signs came out, it was called Elk Avenue. Now it's called Elk Avenue. That's where the lineup's going to be. And go down Main Street and come up around to the town building.
What time does it start?
It starts at 5.
And it's all walking, is that correct?
Now you can have your automobile. You can ride in your automobile and hang out the window or something like that.
The first Sunday of December?
Yes, the first Sunday. I think it's the 3rd. That is our town meeting night.
Yeah.
The first Sunday. And that was done because some of the elected officials work second shift. Except on weekends, and that's why we have it on Sunday. And there is also going to be a tree lighting ceremony following the parade, and following that, refreshments.
Is this your first parade?
Since 1890.
Really?
Wow.
That's worth a celebration, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yeah. And you know John Leckie of Black Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He called the other night and said that he has a young friend who was an NBA basketball player by the name of Jamie Carlton. And he's a free agent. I don't even know what team he was with, but he's trying to get him to come to be the Grand Marshal of our parade.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So if you would like to come and bring a bulb to put on the tree in memory of a loved one that has passed away, or to honor someone in your family that could be a veteran, or you just want to hang a bulb for someone, you can do that. And if you bring children, let them make a homemade decoration that goes on the tree inside.
Where's the tree at?
The tree is right in front of the town building. This is a tree that is, has the roots and is going to be there. It's already planted, and it's going to be there forever, unless it dies in that cold winter.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jean.
Yeah.
And I hope I don't get lost in Elk Garden.
Well, are you which way you coming?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay, you know Elk Garden. If you're going up the mining road, Old 46, there's no lines to follow and there's no lights, so it's dark up that way.
Come to the top of the hill and make it right.
Yeah, right.
And go straight, and when you get in Elk Garden, there is a Y. In fact, that's what it's called, a Y. You go right again, and
We're riding up in the convertible.
Okay.
Unless there's snow.
I think everything the stores are too far.
yeah,
No, we gotta think about traction.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, thanks, Jeannie.
Uh-huh.
I'm taking my truck.
Okay, any other remarks? If not, we'll move on to minutes from the previous meeting. Approval and corrections.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes of the last meeting. I'll second it.
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay. We'll accept the meetings from the last, or minutes from the last meeting. All right. Correspondence, anybody got any?
We already had this, the November 6th from Steve.
Okay,
We already had that, didn't we? The November 6th from Steve when he wasn't gonna be here.
yeah.
Okay.
I had a correspondence, but for somehow I went to print and I hit delete, so I don't know, it went out in La La Land somewhere, but I'll tell you about it. The old stone house is having like a museum festival with lights, Christmas lights, things like that, and some vendors over there on the 2nd, starting at 11 o'clock and moving on to 4 p.m. and it goes 3 days. So anyone that wants to go over to the stone house and look at some of the museum pieces that they have there, it's worded a lot different than I'm saying, but I deleted it. I can't bring it back to life, so that's basically what it is. And there's a Save the Stonehouse Foundation, or that may not be Save the Stonehouse, but it's some sort of a foundation that's offering, putting a plaque up with your name on it for $50. I'd have to have the whole email to read it right, but anyhow, you get the general idea. The time is right, from 2, or on December 2nd, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and 3rd and 4th also. Anyone else with anything? Okay, officers' reports.
I don't know if this should go under correspondence or my report, but I got a $500 check today from the Windforce Foundation for the grant I applied for.
That's great.
And I'm going to do my first fundraiser for the pool, and it's going to be t-shirts or hoodies with this design I made. I made it up yesterday, put it on Facebook, and I set my goal at 70, and I've already sold 81. I don't like to turn them in until the 5th, so now my goal's 100.
You just sold a bunch right there.
Yeah, I did. That's what I said. Now I'm almost at 90, so I think I will get 100 in a blink of an eye.
Anyone that wants a t-shirt, see Paula.
Yep, or hoodies. The t-shirts are 12, the hoodies are 25. And I'll be selling them till the 5th. The money's due on the 5th. I gotta place an order. If they have it by the 8th, we can have it in for Christmas. So I hope to have them in by the 6th.
How much was the hoodies?
25.
I'll put it in the newsletter.
Okay. I was gonna ask. I thought you already put that together.
I did, but we haven't printed it out yet.
Okay, cool.
Anything else, Paul?
No.
Susie?
No, I don't have anything until next meeting.
Dawn?
Just that Eric's still waiting on response to find out if we passed that test or not.
Yeah, it'll probably be into December. It takes about 15 days for to get a response from that. And I've got things pretty much set up to get him on his next venture too.
Signed contracts went out yesterday to the state auditor's office, and I had the appointment with the lady with Kathy Beveridge at M&T, and tomorrow I'll go back over and give her the rest of the information. She said the account should be set up for us to do online banking in about an hour, and we'll have their checks and every deposit slips, etc. by next Friday. No charge for our first setup.
Good. Okay. I've been experiencing a little bit of problems with the Pearl Street pump. I don't think it's anything serious, but we keep having to adjust things down there, and it's becoming a pain in the butt. But they're out there trying to take care of it. So,
If the alarm keep going off,
no, the alarm was going off. Then it would run too long after it filled up. It would run too long.
Rick was in here yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. They had asked him to check on it, and he said Green River's waiting on a part to fix it.
Well, that is true, but they're trying to get this thing in adjustment so that the pump don't run. After the float drops down, it should shut off, but there's a time delay in there that they're trying to take out, and it's in software. So they got to keep reprogramming memory chips to put in there, or parameter modules, what they call it. But anyhow, it's nothing that's serious. It's just running too long. Once the water level gets down, it's supposed to kick off, but it's running like 3 or 4 minutes after that. So, but it's consistent, so it's got to be in software, I'd say. Okay, moving right along. Robbie?
You sure?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, if you haven't noticed, there's still been a large amount of 18-wheelers trying to make it through town, all hours of the day and night. Losing my voice, but anyway, that's a good thing. So if I went over to Verso the one night that I had one that took out some phone lines out on the end of Fairview Street. I don't know how the guy did it. Somehow, supposedly, he made it clear out Hampshire and turned down Dundee and came around and took the lines out down near Marples. He was a good driver. It's just his truck was too high and he took out the phone lines. So Frontier was reported that. I went directly to Verso, figuring that that's where I was going to catch him. And he wasn't there. One of the shuttle drivers said he saw a white truck and it went on straight like going up the Backbone Mountain. So he says they could have missed them and they'll be back in hours. So they put a lookout for all their locations, trying to locate him, never did. So we couldn't give 911 the information of who Frontier needed to contact. But I talked to the one gentleman up there and he said he would try to see if there's anything else they can do on their orders and stuff if things are supposed to be getting in to try to let them know, you know, of the issue with traffic and the problems here. So, like I said, I've tried that numerous times. I don't know if it'll ever work, but if they know how to drive and they move their axles up on their trailers, they can make it through. But they just can't hit these. All their GPSs are sending them straight out Hampshire or Fairview or somewhere to try to get to 1 Jones Street. And they said they were thinking possibly about maybe somehow at some point in time trying to open that entrance back up, that then they wouldn't have to worry about them getting. I said, well, that still ain't going to stop them from going straight out trying to get to it, you know. So anyway, that was that part. I don't know if it's ever going to be fixed. And then I've been doing, Susie's asked me about some stuff, and I've been checking on some other things, and I've issued the one gentleman, they sent a video in. I put a warning on their door that they have till Friday to get the trash cleaned up at their property. We'll see how that goes. And other than that, I think everything's, you know, moving right along. Oh, more syringes in the streets. A lady called in here today and they gave me a holler, and I was home, and I went ahead and shot up to Jones Street and found one, and her little 7-year-old saw it on the street, and it was actually beside the sidewalk right at the curb. Someone had run over it and smashed it already, but I got all the pieces up, and it still did have the sharp attached to it. And there was a couple last week that were found, 2 of them found up in the area directly across from the Trinity Methodist Church there on 3rd Street. A lady found them in her yard. So all I can do is hope that I can work it out to where I can get some of these drop cameras. DNR calls them groundhog cameras. They put them out to try to catch people that are throwing trash at certain places over the bank and things. They call them groundhog cameras, just hideaway cameras, and you just check them every so often, like a game camera, you buy for hunting or whatever. So I'm gonna try to see if I can't get a few, put them in my areas where I'm having issues with them, and maybe I can pinpoint our heroin users. I know it's not a diabetic, but they're pretty good with their sharps and stuff. So. But like I say, all I'm going to do is, like I say, that little boy was trained to, if he sees anything strange like that, to contact his parent and stuff, and they did. And I carry, like I said, empty bottles in my trunk, water bottles, Pepsi bottles, Mountain Dew, whatever I got. I carry 6 to 8 of them in my trunk. That way I can just go along and gather them up and dispose of them. So I don't know what the deal is, but it's getting out of hand, and I don't know how else we can stop it. So. Other than that, just be careful with syringes. Keep your eyes open. I walk around everywhere, on the park and everywhere else trying to locate them, and I do get them at times.
You were still have that camera on at the park over here?
Mm-hmm.
So that's still being monitored, so that's something.
That's still being monitored, yeah, I'm still watching it. Haven't had too many over there lately, though.
No, we got a camera.
About the GPS stuff, Robbie, that's an ongoing problem. And we've been trying, even the county commissioners has been trying to go through the server from this area, trying to get that GPS changed. It's old, outdated, and it isn't accurate to start with from West Piedmont Street on. The Mineral County Development Association's working on this and has been for about 3 or 4 months at least. How long, Tom? A year?
Yeah.
About a year they've been really getting active on it, and they're supposed to be getting signs made up for down by West Piedmont Street, by the curve and out by the stoplight. There is small ones there, but everyone's wanting to know who's going to pay for the sign. You know, this much trouble to the county, a sign can't cost that much.
No.
I donate to that one.
Yeah. Well, in Maryland State Highway Administration, I called and left a message with the guy that I talked to last year, because he was supposed to work something out and got something over to the bridge in Maryland, and I left a message. He was out, so I haven't heard anything back from him. And we're not the only place having a problem. They've been hitting West Vaco and different places out there to drop off. Even there was even a couple I checked into automated packaging, and the trucks actually went the wrong direction. And they're hanging up out at Gerstel Hollow there at the church out Waxler Road, and it's taking a couple hours. And Moore's Towing is just making a killing off of them because they can't get out. He's got to go out there and pull them out. So, they're going out Waxler Road, and there's signs out there that says, and they drive right by the plant. Right by the warehouse where they're supposed to go. It's keep on going. You would think that when they see these little streets and places like that that don't look like and there's limbs hitting their truck, that they would think, well, you know what? Maybe trucks don't go out here, but it doesn't happen.
Well, a lot of these guys don't know a GPS from a taco,
Well, and the guy up here at Verso said, and the shuttle driver also told me, because he's given a lot of them directions. Because he drives that little single cab shuttle. Yeah. Smith Transport back and forth, and he said that some of them are coming in. He doesn't understand how it is, and it's not he said he's not in any way at all prejudiced or anything. He said, but these guys are coming in, and the one guy came in. He was from Russia, and he said, "Man, you're having some problems. How long have you been driving?" He said, "A year." He said, "Week." And he's like, a week and you're already, how did you get your CDLs in a week? And he,
I talked to a guy in town, one of the ones I helped back up, 2 days, he'd have his license.
yeah.
2 days.
And I mean, they're very, they don't have their license very long. And they're getting them,
They're the ones
and the
getting in
Mexican,
trouble.
when they come over from Mexico, they don't have to comply with certain log and item things that the United States said, but they can still drive here. So, we'll see. Okay. Be careful if you see an 18-wheeler.
Well, they made me replenish or redeem my CDLs because I couldn't pass the eye test. And now these guys that can't speak English, read a road map or anything else has got CDLs and it makes me mad.
Yeah.
But
They can't
anyway,
read
let's move on.
Good enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Unfinished business is the P card contract and the decision to take the P card. I got mixed feelings about this, so I'll leave it up to you guys.
I'm in favor.
I'm entertaining a motion to do or do not.
Well, I make a motion that we do accept the P card and sign the contract for the deal.
I second it.
All in favor? Anyone opposed besides me? No, I'm not really opposed. I just got mixed feelings about some of
The
this.
way that guy was talking is pretty much improved.
Well, if there's any wrongdoing, they're gonna make it find it.
Yeah. That's
Well-
what I understood listening to this.
They make their money somehow.
Well, our main thing we have to decide though for the P card contract is who is going to have access to the card, because I don't want to be switching cards from this, like he said. You know, I want whoever's going to have the cards to be responsible for their own card. I think you should have one, and I think there should be one here at the office.
I personally don't want
Okay.
no city cards. I've been backed up from it since I've been in this position, and I'll maintain that standard.
So for now, we could just start out just having access at the office for Phil to it.
Well, first off, let's get back to the contract decision. Did we get a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Who did that?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, everybody but me.
Okay, well, we'll do the contract.
You think, no, he said you could get the card and leave it inactive, don't activate it. Do you think we should get one for the office, one for TI, and one for Tim? One for Robin?
I'll tell you the honest truth. I might be speaking a little bit out of turn, but we're not voting on it anyhow. I think that we need to somehow acquire another truck for the water plant, whether it be running back up and down, and then the card for the office here would take care of fuel for that vehicle. I mean, we're always low on money and all that, but if we could have a better handle on what's going on here if we have an own vehicle here that's got a mileage.
Yeah. Well, then you're not paying for gas that's not being used for the town business.
Well, I'm not saying there is gas not used for the town business, but when it comes to an auditing situation, we need to have verification, documentation, and there, it's there. So, like I said, we can't vote on that right yet, so I got a little bit off track, but, as far as the cards, I would say you probably need at least 3 or 4 cards, cause Robbie's gonna need one. He's probably the one that needs it the worst.
So we'll do one for the office and 2 for now inactive until we.
Can I ask a question on it?
Phil?
Are we going to keep the Wex fuel cards?
Yeah,
Because, huh?
I mean, that would replace it.
Because you got an awful lot of stuff to do when you use the P card for fuel. That's why A lot of departments don't use it for fuel, but I mean, that's,
What do you mean, an awful lot of stuff to be able to use it?
well, you have to, like what I do with mine, filling in, we'll see when I turn my receipts in on that WEX card, I keep track of my mileage and my fuel. And she has every slip, so when that bill comes in, I go and I check mark off all the ones that I've used, right? And then I go around and I get them up out of the other trucks, and I mark theirs off, check them off. These other ones, they're gonna send you a bill for every time you use it, and get $10 worth of gas or whatever you get. They're gonna send you that thing, and you've got to reconcile that every time it comes in. If that's what you want done, that's fine, but it's an awful lot of.
It would be under a certain person's card number though. So we'd still, basically, it'd be the same bill.
It would pretty much
like
be the
yours
same.
is.
Yeah,
But it would be
you'd
under-
have one just for you, and you'd be the only one allowed to
Right,
use it.
but it would,
And Tim would have one, and T.I. would have one.
okay, and then with the WEX cards, they say there's, I'm just throwing this out there because it's gonna happen. It probably will, most likely, if this is a bad winter, which I hope it ain't. But there may be times when someone else gets in one of these trucks to drive them to plow. Not me, but, I mean, I know it's happened before. Rick or somebody has. They're not gonna be able to get gas.
Yeah, they will.
Because if the person has a P card that isn't out with them.
Well, then we would have to have one too. I mean, from what I understand, everyone can have one. But it would keep track of the individuals and when they use it. So if they need to get gas,
And
if
they
Rick
should
needs to
fuel
get
up
gas
and
for
then-
one, then
It's right there. T.I. Heck, make sure that truck's used, when it's used, he puts it away, it's full.
Well, there's probably not a big deal about having one for, Rick wouldn't need one because he don't drive. Rick, T.I., Robbie, and one for the office. 4 cards, it's
Phil,
good.
Robbie, Tim, T.I., and one inactive.
I don't know as though, well, you could do it for now, but we need to come up with a solution for transportation to the water plant. And the way, Tim does do a lot of running for water samples and all the stuff that he does, but, we've got receipts, but we need some miles and stuff like that put together in a log book or something. I don't know. I don't know how to figure it out.
You could design something, a logbook for him, or he does his running and stuff.
All right, let's move on down along the line here. We done with the P card stuff? Okay, new business. Christmas tree lighting.
That's already been covered, parade's already been covered, I put those on there because I missed that meeting, and didn't realize it.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Christmas light stuff. We get in the Christmas tree. I've went to get a Christmas tree this year and or this week, and they really don't open up for Christmas trees till Saturday. Saturday at 11 o'clock. So Saturday after 11 o'clock, I will go get a Christmas tree and get somebody to go with me. Now, who's going to do the decorating of this tree? Susie, you volunteered once. And
I'll help.
okay,
You plan on decorating the tree?
sometime after Saturday? What
Well,
Saturday?
they won't be able to set it up until
Monday.
Monday, and we'll have
Well-
to get money for lights.
If Rick comes along, maybe Rick and I can set it up and have it ready to trim on Monday, but, we still got time, so. Okay.
It'll be done.
I have doctor's appointments Monday and Tuesday. So,
We'll get together.
just, yeah, that's fine.
As long as it doesn't for the parade.
Yeah,
Well, then everybody brings
For
the
the
one
sun.
that's staying by the parade.
Huh?
People bring the ones.
Yeah, we'll just put the lights on it. And then on top.
Mayor, I know Rick's not here. Did Rick and T.I. went to look at one night? Did you know anything about that?
Yeah.
Rick
Okay, I just make sure.
Yeah,
Wasn't good?
the pastors, and they couldn't find nothing. We want something that was like we had last year, not a big monster, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but still big enough that it can be recognized as a Christmas tree. And there wasn't really nothing there that if they cut the top out of some, it was so bare that
I got you.
it wasn't good. And over here at this place, you know, they charge us $25 or $35. I forget what it is, but you can pick out the one you want, and it's nice. And I felt the one we got last year looked pretty decent.
Okay. I just didn't know if you knew.
Yeah. Well, me and Susie went and got it last year. We run through a lot of Christmas trees, but we finally found one that suited the purpose.
The first one we picked, wasn't it?
Hmm?
It was the first one we
We
picked.
went back to that. Okay, moving on. Christmas bonuses, what's that all about?
Last year we didn't give a bonus for Christmas. We can actually afford to give a bonus this year.
Can we?
Yes, we can.
Can we afford to buy a truck for the water plant?
You know, you're not gonna buy that for $50, but
Well, you
we
put
can
all those
afford to
$50
give.
together, what do you got? I mean, there's,
Well, I mean, these guys work hard all year,
well,
out in the weather,
that's the big one.
well, still. We can't afford to give a Christmas bonus this year, and I would like to give them one.
That's up to the council.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we give, the employees a $50 Christmas bonus this year.
How many employees do we have here?
We have 7, we have to get 2 here for, Robbie and Tim, 4, 5, 6, 8.
I'll second
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay, motion carried. So what was it, $50?
Yes.
All right. That's settled. Next meeting is December 6th. I don't know if I'm gonna make that one. And, is that a 5 o'clock meeting or 5:30 meeting, or
It should be 5:30.
it's not?
December 6th is not the, oh,
13.
it's the 13th is the meeting. 13th and the 27th.
Second, fourth one.
It's the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of the month.
So this is,
2. He was doing every other week, that's why. So
so
you're
this
saying it
is
should have been the 13th?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the 13th.
13th at 5:30.
Yeah.
So the next meeting will be December 13th at 5:30.
My bad, I was just counting every other week.
No, I didn't even count. I just said this same December 16th. Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We're out here. Man, that was short.